Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. Thank you for bearing with me while I needed to delay things a little bit. Every time we have a new catalog, I host a big swap for our Stampin' Up! Leaders group. And a swap is something that we demonstrators do, and it's basically a great exchange of ideas. Hi, Velma. So we make a card with all the new things that have, well, not all the new things. You choose something new. You choose typically a stamp set, and then you build a card around that. Hi, Elizabeth, Lisa. Hey, I'm glad you're here. And then you're in a group with 20 other people, and so you swap with them. So everybody mails their swaps to me, and I have a great team of helpers. I could not do it without them. But we swapped 4,000 cards yesterday. Yeah. So the fun thing is I get one of everybody's, not all 4,000, but because there's duplicates in there, obviously we had 10 groups of 20 people and all doing 20 cards. And so there's a lot, and I will be doing swap parades over the next couple of weeks. And it's a great way to just see all the new stuff. You know, there's nothing like seeing it in person, and even on camera, it's so much more vivid, and it's so much more realistic than just seeing it in a photo in the catalog. They do great photos for us in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. But you know, when you start mixing and matching things and putting things together, and somebody else will come up with a design you're thinking, I would have never thought to use that stamp set that way. So that's the fun of swaps. And for all of us demonstrators that do swaps like that, it's so that it helps our own creative ideas. And then it also gives us great displays for our customers so that people can come to one of our events and I'll have, you know, like 10 examples of this stamp set that maybe I don't even own. So the swapping is intense, and we turn it around pretty quickly. And I was really trying to get them out the door today before 3, and it just was not going to happen. I did get everything boxed, and I think I've got like 1 or 2 boxes over there that still have to be sealed. I couldn't quite get those finished. But then I've got to print all the labels. And I've got the labels created, but I got to print the mailing labels on them. So anyway, that is what I've been doing for the last about 48 hours. But we're going to do some simple stamping today. Every Thursday, I come to you and I broadcast live. And the focus of my live on Thursdays is simple stamping. And Stampin' Up! Actually has a hashtag. It's hashtag simple stamping. And each month, they give us a focus for our simple stamping. And this month, it is stamp, ink, and paper. It's always stamp, ink, and paper, and then plus something else. So this time, it's plus something with celebration, any celebration item. So I'm actually using a celebration designer paper. There's a lot of designer papers in celebration this time. So let me bring the camera down, and I will show you what we're going to make today. Bring this up on my computer to see if I'm coming through for you. I did post when I had when I announced I was going to be late today. For some reason it wouldn't let me put any photos in my little announcement, so I threw in a couple of photos of the of my studio in the midst of swap mania. So if you scroll down in those comments, you'll see a little bit of what's been going on. Okay, so this is, I wanted to start here. This is our annual catalog, and this is a beautiful, beautiful suite called Hand Penned. This was actually the focus that we had at my, my weekend retreat, which was in July. And we used this for all of our goodie bag and our make and takes and stuff. And there is a designer series paper that's a part of this suite, as well as Memories and More cards. And this designer series paper was actually one of the top sellers during our designer series paper sale. Well, if that were not enough, hi Vivian from Maine, and Velma and Lisa. We got a smaller crowd here today. I'm coming on a lot later than I typically do. People are probably wondering where I was if they didn't see my announcement. But Stampin' Up! Has done something really unique. So we have this paper, this designer series paper that coordinates with this beautiful stamp set, and it's in these very soft, fresh colors. Well, Stampin' Up! Has given us an option during Celebration of getting this designer series paper for free. Now this is just the same designer series paper, but it's done in black and white. But it's not just black and white, it's kind of a white, not whitewashed, kind of a watercolor washed black and white. So it's not quite as bold, not quite as, not as high a contrast. Let me just grab the original so I can show you the comparison. Let's see. Do I have it handy? Yeah, here we go. Just so you can kind of see the comparison. So here is, the smaller pieces be easier to show. Let's see. This design. So here in the original paper, this is in Coastal Cabana, I believe, and here it is in the black and white. Well, the nice thing about these black and white patterns is that you can add color. So these are the colors in the original, there it is. But you can just add your own colors and make these any way you want to do them. There is a piece of the Highland Heather. Let me see if I can find it. Actually got a bunch of scraps in here from where I've been. There we go. So this was one of the original papers in Highland Heather, but look at what it is in black and white. The great thing about the black and white is, like I said, you can add color if you have a wish to, but you know, the black and white is very, very classic. So that's what I'm going to work with today for my simple stamping. I am going to use the coordinating stamp set, and that is hand-penned Petals. Beautiful stamp set. It does have a set of coordinating dies, and it is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to use my little piercing mat with it. That's going to give me a really good cushion when I stamp. Now I want to use this really large flower image, and I wanted to just show you something here because, you know, it doesn't quite fit a D block. So you really do need to go up to the larger E block, and then you've got plenty of room to maneuver it. The other option you would have, of course, is to use a Stamparatus. Okay, let's see. So I'm only going to use one color ink, and that is my Tuxedo Black ink pad, and this is, after all, simple stamping. But let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple of pieces, and I'm going to do two of these side by side, so we can, because we're going to do one simple and one stepped up. That's typically my gig here on a Thursday. So this is what I'm going to do here. Where's my other piece? Well, let's see where Candy put it. There's one of them. And then I need another piece like that. I think I was showing it to you, and I got it mixed in here with my, I cut these, there it is. I cut these ahead of time just to save a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is, this is a 3-inch piece, and this is a 3/4 inch piece. I've made a layer of 4, move some of this out of the way, start with the paper. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 layer in basic gray, which I think looks really nice with this. And I'm going to just do these like a little puzzle. So again, this is 5 by 3 and 5 by 3/4. Super simple dimensions to work with. Let me grab my seal. I think I need to be quick today because I've got another Facebook Live to do after this with another group. So let's just see what I can do here. Of course, you could do the other side. Kind of cute wave pattern, scallop, kind of like hand-drawn scallops. more than waves, I think. Kind of depends on how you would be using it, because if you put it with fish, it definitely would look like waves. So you see how that's going to fit right in there? And give me just a little bit of contrast. And see, this is the exact same pattern of paper. I've just flipped one piece over. And that gives me that little bit of contrast that I was wanting. Now, I know that Velma is on today, and so is Lisa. And I'm going to show you guys the inspiration I had for this layout. Layouts, to me, are a really important part of design work. If I have a good layout, I can probably come up with a pretty good looking card. And a layout is really kind of like a map. It gives you basic dimensions or orientations or positions of the way you want to put your card together. So I used another card, and I basically cased the dimensions. Whoops, there we go. That needs to come over just a wee bit. So I have these lovely panels made with the free designer series paper, and I think it's called, let's see, it's called Beautifully Penned. Okay, so the original is called Hand Penned, and this one's called Beautifully Penned. Now I'm going to break up all of that neutral a little bit, and I'm going to bring in my favorite, it's my absolute favorite color in all of the Stampin' Up! Colors, and this is Petal Pink. I haven't used Petal Pink in a while. I'm not sure why. So I thought, you know what? I need to give my Petal Pink some love, and it always goes really nicely with grays. Close that up for now. I think there's a little bit of stuff on there. Hopefully we can hide it. So I'm going to a little bit of adhesive there, which I don't really want sticking to anything. So I've got my card bases like so. Now look at how pretty that is. It's just very fresh. I think it brings a really soft freshness to my card. So I'm going to do both cards the same way. And then we're going to do one simple, and then we're going to do one stepped up. I hope you're still with me. Seeing any comments, and maybe you're just having an afternoon cup of coffee or something. I don't know. I actually want that over here. I want that little side piece off to the right side. Let me just make sure I'm still on camera. Yep. Okay. Okay, we are here. I hope that's not bleaching it out in the light. No, we will hope. Let me come down just a little bit more too. Okay, so this is super simple. You know, we're doing simple stamping, and that is definitely something that I love doing. I'm not a fussy stamper. Not super detailed. I like simple. So there are my two basic card fronts. Now, I'm ready to do a little bit of stamping, and this is what I'm going to do. So I have I pre-cut, but I didn't cut that one down. I decided to do 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now let me line these up so that I have them the same. Then we can do a side-by-side comparison of what happens when you add just a little bit of stepped up. So I'm going to bring my piercing mat back over here, and I'm going to stamp this great big flower image right there onto, hey Valerie, thank you for joining us. And Velma, I'm glad you like these colors together. I do too. I think they're very, very elegant. And kind of, you could make this card into birthday, thank you. You could probably even make it into sympathy. Let's see if that's gonna, I may have not gotten enough ink in the center. So you know, with your photopolymer stamps, you always want to hold in place for a couple of seconds. You don't need to do this with your red rubber stamps, but with your photopolymer stamps, it needs that little bit of time. Needs to be inked better. Needs that little bit of time to for the ink to transfer to the paper effectively. I didn't get enough ink right there in the middle. I could tell when I was putting the ink on the stamp. And the other thing is, I like to, when I'm using my Tuxedo ink pad, this is a linen pad. It's not like our other firm foam pads. So you'll see me kind of moving it back and forth across there because I want to make sure it gets down into all of those little crevices. With the firm foam, you don't need to do that. Okay, let's see. Let's try again. This is why we have two sides to every piece of cardstock. And Stampin' Up! Cardstock is it's just the best on the market. There's no two ways about it. And I love the fact that I can take what I've messed up and try again. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's going to look pretty good. It's a lot there. I realize there's a lot of flowers, but hold on. We're gonna make it work. So now let's try with another one. And I could, you know, go in even on colored cardstock, and I could add some color to this. I could, you know, use some markers. You just, one of the things you do when you're coloring on colored cardstock is you want to have a little scrap nearby and try out your colors, because they won't be true in the sense that you're not stamping on white. They're going to have a little bit of a different, they're going to have a different result when you're stamping on colored cardstock. I like it. You can see where I inked up that stamp a lot more over there. You know, I'm going to try both sides and just see. I probably should have done Stamparatus. You know what? Let me just do that. Let's do Stamparatus and see if we don't get a better result. Okay. So here is my Stamparatus, probably where I should have started. And I have, go this way because that way I don't run into the camera. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift my stamp, and I'm just going to put it right like that. And here is the second side of my cardstock. Actually, what I need to do is this. Oh, Candy, you're getting a little ahead of yourself. Let's grab a magnet, and let's do that. And let's grab another magnet. Let's do that. And then let's put this here. And I think, Lord have mercy. Look what I just did. You know what? It's going to be one of those days. It's because I'm trying to hurry. Not a good thing to do. Okay, let's see what we can do to make this work. I think maybe I can just keep going and all of the black will work. Let's give it a try. Get the black off my fingers first, and then let's pick this up and not drop it this time. Position it. Now let's see. You know, the worst thing that can happen is we ditch this piece of cardstock and use another. That's what I like to tell people in my classes too. You know, they say, "Oh, I messed up." Well, you know what? It's just a piece of paper. We have more. I promise we have lots more. So let's see what happens if I can get a more even. And you know, I showed you also, this is that little tool that my friend Pat gave me. And I was using this. I will say I like it better when you're using the photopolymer stamps. To me, when you use this and you're stamping with a red rubber stamp, it's like it's too thick. It's like the red rubber stamp is too thick underneath it. But with the photopolymer, it works great. Well, you know, you can kind of see some smudging under there. So maybe we're going to make a new piece of cardstock. Let's see. I am getting a better imprint. I do like that better. However, I think it's still, I'm seeing that smudge a little bit from where I messed up. Yeah, Velma, yeah, it happens to you. Yeah, that's when you start dropping things and, you know, and then you get frustrated and yeah. So that basically is a mess because you can see where I messed up underneath. I think I'm just going to go with that side because it looks pretty good. We'll clean this up off camera. Okay, let me bring this over here because I am going to stamp a greeting, but before we do that, we're not going to need that big block anymore. So let's pop this up on dimensionals. Make sure I'm going in the right direction. And I could do it like this, or I could do it offset. I think I'm going to do it straight because there's already a lot going on here, and I think if we kind of make it a little bit off kilter, it's like too much. The eye doesn't know where to settle. So I think we're going to do it this way. And let's put one in the middle. You know, one of my pet peeves with dimensionals is I don't like saggy middles. So I think people oftentimes just want to put them in the four corners, but you really need that lift more in the center so that it doesn't sag on you. Okay, Valerie, you're agreeing with me that you like it in the center. Hey, Penny, I'm glad you're here today. I think actually this is the way that the flower goes. So let's do it like so. I'm liking that. And now we are going to add a little bit of cardstock for a greeting. Now, let's see. I have a couple of options. I think this is going to be a little bit too dark, but I could just keep going with the same colors, or we could add a little something. And this is where I need a little bit of input. Now, this is just a scrap, so I could go with, this is gray granite, so that could bring in a little bit softer, but still within the same color family. Or we could do a little pop of color. So what do we think about a little bit of Coastal Cabana? Is that too much, or is that kind of a nice little, just a little something something? So I'm going to make this one into a thanks card. So let me get my thank you stamp while y'all are thinking about what you like with this. That'll maybe help you to think about where we're going with a little greeting. Just going to be a little piece of cardstock, and I'm going to put a little thank you, and I'm going to get my little mini chopper here. Oh, you like that pop of color? Okay, Valerie, I had a feeling. You know, it really changes everything. You see how when you keep going with these tones, it's very soft, it's very elegant, and then you put that in there and go, oh, well, okay, that kind of changes things up a little bit. So let's do that, and I think this greeting, let's see, I think it's about an inch. So let's just grab a 1-inch scrap, and this is a very delicate font, so the lines on it are not thick. So the black ink is going to be very light on here. It's going to be very delicate. I like that. I could bring it down a little bit more, but I kind of like that. I kind of like having a little bit more of the color around it. And sometimes I trim things down a lot more than that. But I think I like that. I think I like that. So this is just stamp, ink, and paper using one Celebration item. Now, you know what I think I'm going to do? Let's just compare. Because we can. Let's bring it down to 3/4 of an inch and see if we like it better or if it's too trim. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's come down here. Let's see what we think. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, that's a lot tighter. But let's see which one we like better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flag the end of both, and then we'll decide. Now, you know, if you've been watching my videos at all, this is my favorite way to flag. You can hand flag this just by using your paper snips, but I love to use this tailored tag punch. To me, it's just it's like the best punch we have, because you can make great tags with it, but look how you can also flag with it. So you've got that dual usefulness there. Now let's flag this one, and I could have just, oh, there we go, brought it down a little bit more. going to flag that end. And let's see which one we like better. Let's bring our card back over here. Now here's the trim and tidy one. We could do like that. That's looking pretty good. I'm kind of liking that. Or we could do the wider one. Which one do we like better? Let's see what we think. Maybe I'll bring that up a little bit more. So do we like the wider one or do we like the narrow one? You like the trim one, okay? Marlene, I'm glad you're going to do the replay, but welcome. We haven't done too much here. We're doing, everybody's liking the trim one. Okay, we're doing stamps, ink, and paper today, plus one item from Celebration. And we are using the beautifully penned Designer Series paper. Now, let me show you one little tip. When I'm doing something like this, you see how my stamp or my tag is going to be directly on the cardstock, but then I'm going to have this piece down here and it's going to end up getting saggy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in just a little mini dimensional. Of course they're not in here. Because of all of this swapping and everything in here, and because I was already a little behind, yeah, my studio is an absolute wreck. Not that that's anything terribly new, but, oh, I need the mini dimensionals case. Let's see. Here we go. That little dimensional will make a big difference. So let's put this here. Hey, Laura, I didn't know you were here. Welcome, welcome. So that little mini dimensional is going to make a big difference in keeping everything really nicely appointed. So there is my simple card, stamps, ink, and paper. Of course, it helps when everything coordinates. So this paper is a free item during Celebration with a $50 order. Now, let's see what we can do with Stepped Up. So just to kind of keep it really, really, which one do we like better? I think I'm going to use that one. Just to keep things really even, I think that I will trim this one down so that we are comparing apples to apples. Well, I should say we're not really going to compare because you know what? I always like the stepped up one better. But add a little bling, add some ribbon. I'm going to like it better. But I do think it bears seeing that you can have something super simple. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Let's just try, while we're stepping it up, let's just try. Let's do a little tag and see if we like it better or not. Let's see. Let's try stamping our thanks here, and let's grab Label Me Fancy Punch. Now this punch gives you two little, a slot and a hole if you want to make a tag. And you can use that on anything, not just on this tag, but then it has this nice trim little tag here. So I thought that might be a good shape for this. Let's see. If we prefer the flag or if we like the shape. Let's see. Let's move this. Now, here we go. Here's the original. Make sure I'm in the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Do we like that, or I honestly think I like the flag better. I think that's too fat. I think it goes back to what we liked the trim. We liked the trim tag better. So I think that the label punch is just too fat for what we're doing. I think we need, because we want just a pop of color. We want just a little bit. And I think when we get the wider piece of cardstock in there, it's just a little bit too much. So let's see how we get on here. While that's drying, just a minute, we're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals down here. And we will do that by grabbing some here. And again, I'm going to do 1, 2, 4, 5, so we don't have saggy middles. And this is just going to be really soft and fresh. You know, I think you could use this kind of a thank you card for any time of year, but I think especially it'd be pretty for a wedding, for a baby shower, for a graduation. You know, it just has that real fresh look to it. I could bring it over here. I could, yeah, lots of different things we could do, but I'm going to do it there. Okay, now let's bring our tag in. Let's thread this baby through here and bring it down. That's going to be my little tag, and I'm going to once again do a little bit of seal here, get it going, and then I'm going to put a mini dimensional right there on the end to just give it that extra lift. Okay, so now let's see what we can do to bling it up a little bit. Now I will say on my original, I probably should have brought this over. See, I brought it all the way to the end of the gray. Here I've got the gray peeking out, which I think I like a little bit better. You know, it's just those little tiny touches sometimes that will make a big difference. So now let's see, what did I bring over here to, oh, I know, here we go. I love, love, love the champagne rhinestones whenever you're using Petal Pink. See how it has that peachy look to it? These are beautiful, beautiful rhinestones. If you've never had these before, they're really fun to work with, and look at how that's already catching the light so nicely. So let me grab my pick a tool and see, I think, do I want to add these to the center of the flowers? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. And then these are all kind of the big ones. Then I need to open up the other package to get into some of the little ones. I think there's enough flowers here that I could do, you know, all of them. Look how pretty. Yeah, to me, yeah, if you just bling it out, you're always going to be better off. Almost always. But I do love the simplicity too. What you can do with stamps, ink, and paper is pretty amazing. But this is why, you know, having a few embellishments in your toolkit, as it were, is really, just makes all the difference there. Look at that, how that's picking up the shine. Now, this honestly is enough. And we may just leave it there, but wait, there's more. I do have this Petal Pink organdy ribbon, and I thought, well, let's just give it a try. Let's see what would happen if we made a bow with this. It's very wide, fat ribbon, but it's very delicate material. So I think it just might work because it's very soft. So let's see if we can bring this down. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. And then I'm going to show you my original inspiration for this layout. Let's get some ribbon scissors here and see if this bow is going to be too much or if it's going to be just the perfect little extra touch. So, see, it's going to cover up all my pretty, let's see. Oh, Velma, you like the champagne rhinestones too. They are amazing. They really are. Oh, now I could. Yeah, I think it's going to be too much. Oh, but I will say what might not be too much is sometimes if you just do what I call a ribbon tab, oh, I like that. I could put it there, or I could put it over here on the side. I think on the side is better. So let's just grab a couple of mini glue dots over here. Hey, from Wheaton, Illinois. I'm glad you're here, Pat. And you have both items. Yay. Well, I hope that you get inspired to make something fun. If you've never used this color scheme of basic gray with Petal Pink, it's really fun to use, extremely versatile. And if you have this designer paper already, yay for you. It is a free item. through the end of September with a $50 purchase. And I think it's really, whoops, I left that on my hand. I think it's really scrummy colors, and well, not scrummy colors, scrummy design is what I meant. Ah, I made it too big. Okay, let's trim this down. You know, I could measure first, but I rarely do. I'll fly by the seat of my pants, girl. Let's see. Yeah, you like the side too, Valerie? Yeah, I think it just gives it that little, it's just that little something, something. I'm running into my dimensional. Ah, there we go. Now I've got a little bit more room to maneuver. Okay. So there is this was as much as I love when you tie this into bows, it was a little bit much for this card because we already have a lot going on. Now, some of y'all were at my Christmas in July event that I did last weekend. I did an in-person event, and let me show you one of the cards that we made and why or how I came about this design today. So this is one of the cards that we made at Christmas in July. And you can see that I have the exact same layout. So I've done my dimensions on the designer paper. I really liked this. Oh, Velma, your video keeps going in and out. I'm sorry. Well, you can catch the replay. Hopefully it will come out a lot better. So I did the same dimensions, the same layers, and then the focal piece I just made larger because to incorporate that large stamp from the hand-penned Petals, I think is the name of the stamp set. So, you know, this just to kind of show you that a great way to get a lot of usefulness out of the cards that you've been making for maybe a class or something and you really like the design, well, just take that same design and utilize it with different papers and different stamps. And yours is going in and out too. I'm so sorry, Valerie. I wonder if there's something, mine is clear from where I am. So I'm seeing you on my computer and it's coming out okay. Well, that is simple here. Here's simple. And here's stepped up stamping for today. This is my weekly episode of Simple and Stepped Up Stamping. I am going to love you and leave you. I will post photos of these and I will post the dimensions in case you want to be able to do that as well. I think it's a great layout, lots of versatility. So we went from something very fun here to something very elegant here. And I think they both really, really work. So, like I said, I am going to go and do another Facebook Live. I did share the link on here, but I'm part of, well, I'm actually kind of headed up an online shopping event this weekend, and it is called Sizzling Summer Shopping. And I invited 3 of my friends that I do business with. And actually the lady, I get these great earrings from my friend Robin. So she's gonna be there and a couple of my other friends. And so if you would like to be a part of that, it's a free Facebook group. If you wanna just come and check out what we're doing, you're welcome to. And we're gonna be doing some Facebook Lives and prizes every day starting tomorrow. It's gonna be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today we're getting on doing some little introductions. So I need to get on there and just say hello to everybody and introduce myself. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're looking for something else to watch and looking for some good products, we have Robin is from Treasure's Nest, I think is the name of her business, but she represents a company called Plunder Designs, and I've known Robin for like 18 years, so I trust her. And I've been doing. They also do some really nice personalized jewelry that I've gotten for like my daughter and daughter-in-law for Mother's Day and stuff. And then my other friend Jane, she does both. She does Norwex, and my daughter did Norwex for a while, and that's when I got hooked on Norwex. So it's amazing stuff to clean with, and very, very, there's no toxics, no toxins. So it's really good for your health to have that in your home. And then she also does nails. So I didn't know that, but she does that too. And then my other friend is Judy Pinner, and she does Monate, and that's what I use on my hair and my skin. So these are all, these are people I shop with. So I like to get referrals from people, and I like to give referrals to people in the sense that, like, even when it comes down to movies, if somebody that's a friend of mine that has similar tastes that I do says they really like a movie, then I might go try the movie. If I'm just looking at it, I probably won't go because I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to spend money. I don't know if I might not like it. But if there's somebody I know and that I trust their judgment, then I'll try their restaurant, or the restaurant they like, or the bakery they go to, or the restaurant they go to, or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Don't forget, I will be back here Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. I think we're going to do some embossing paste. We'll see. It'll be something fun, and we're going to be of course, celebrating all of the new holiday catalog products, and also celebrating Celebration, where we get something free with every $50 we spend through the end of September. Thanks again for tuning in. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel as well. Take care, and God bless.